Hi, this is Scott Schrader here with a teaching from Parashah Yitro, and I'd like to direct you to Exodus 18, verses 13 through 24. This teaching is about listening to advice, something that we do not do sometimes, and so we wanted to talk about that, when we should listen to advice, when we shouldn't listen to advice, and what's the benefit. And so the story here is that Moses is ministering to the children of Israel. He's giving them counsel, teaching them the law, teaching them what to do. And his father-in-law, who had come the day before, is observing this, and he's asking, "What are you doing?" And so basically, he says, "Listen to me, take my advice. If you keep doing this, you're going to burn out." Basically, is what he's telling him. You can't handle this, and so appoint men to help you, which Moses did. And as a result, this did help Moses, and also brought some other people into their calling. I believe here. So the benefits of him listening, it took stress off of Moses' life. When we listen, sometimes we have a problem, and the answer, the solution is before us, but maybe we don't want to hear it from that source, or maybe we don't want to listen. It can actually take stress off of our life. And in this case, it brought others into their calling. Sometimes we can hold others back from their calling, temporarily anyway. God has called them. He's going to bring them into that. But we'll talk about it in a second. But we can hold them back. It's holding others back by us not allowing others to do the function that God's called them to do. And we usually don't listen because of pride or fear. And these are the things that hold us back, pride or fear. We can prevent others, and this can cause us a loss in the long run. As we don't let others do their function, sometimes we need that function to succeed in what God has called us to do as well. And so that can cause us loss in the long run. And then God might do it another way. He might say, okay, well, if you're not going to allow them move in their calling, I'll move them in another place, in another way, to have them do their calling. So this has something to do with God directing us. You have to go and evaluate in a fair manner where you are. Sometimes we don't want to listen to advice, but we want to evaluate fairly. It's hard to be in that place sometimes, and so we need to get into prayer. We need to get into a place where we're listening to God, and where we've given it over to Him. We're going to listen to Him no matter what. And He has promised to direct our way if we acknowledge Him. We acknowledge Him in all our ways, and He will direct our path. So He will teach you. He will show you what He wants you to do if you're willing to go and be still before Him, and then see if that advice comes. Sometimes that the messenger is not the person that we thought would be delivering that message. Sometimes, and often with me, it's happened. You want to hear advice from that person who's really prophetic, or is known for their wise counsel, but God brings it from somebody lowly, somebody that you would not think, that you have to humble yourself to receive that advice. And I believe He does that sometimes on purpose. He blesses the humble. Moses was the meekest man on the face of the earth. And so this prospered him. This blessed him. This was the thing that helped him, that humility, that he was able to listen to advice and to his father-in-law. And so let's talk about this word counsel. Yetz, or etzah, is the word, and it means counsel, it means advice, and it means a plan. And so all of these things we see that Yitro, which was Moses' father-in-law, gave him that counsel, gave him that plan. And so the letters have unique meaning. The first one is the right hand, or power. So in counsel there is power. When you look at in Isaiah 11:2, it says the spirit of counsel and might. And so they are linked together. Power and counsel are linked together. Sometimes in that counsel is the power even in those words, that helps us to accomplish the task that we need to do. God empowers us in it. It's a kind of an amazing thing. The next one is the ayin. This is the last letter of Yeshua's name, and it means to see or to understand. So it's power to understand, power to see. And the last one here is the tzadeh, and this is an ending tzadeh, and this has to do with seeking and hunting, and waiting. And so it's the power to understand. It's the power to see the thing that we're hunting for, the thing we're seeking for. And sometimes we don't really realize what that is. When somebody comes and brings us etzah, when they come and bring us that counsel, God opens our eyes to see, oh, this is what I've been seeking. And now I have the power to move into that thing that God wants me to do. And so I just encourage you today to wait on the Lord. So there is a time that we don't take advice when it's contrary to God's ways, His word, or He's clearly shown us that it's not His way, His advice. But on the other hand, we need to be in a place where we can fairly evaluate that. And that place always is a place of worship and prayer, being in His word, a place where we can be in the awe of God, where we get connected with Him and can listen